package of 15 apples contains 2 defective apples. So there are 2 defective apples out of 15. 4 apples are being selected at random. So what you can understand from here, what is the, now 4 apples and they are selected at random. Totally how many are there? 15. So this itself is 15C4, correct? Out of 15 you are selecting 4 apples. So this is what the first thing you have to understand. So now total packages, total apples, total apples is equal to 15. Now selection of 4 out of 15 is 15C4. That is what the selection. And now what is the first one now? Find the probability that none of the selected apples is defective. And also he has given you one more hint that 2 defective apples are there. So defective apples are 2. So non-defective apples are then, how many good apples are there? 15 minus 2, that is equal to 13. That count also you can keep it ready. Now what is the probability that none of the selected apples is defective? Now the question is, your denominator is what actually? 15C4. Now the probability of none of the apples is defective. None is defective. None is defective. So that means what you are going to do? You are going to do probability of all the 4 are non-defective, are the good ones, are the non-defective. Now how many non-defective apples we have? 13 non-defective apples are there. So out of 13 you are going to select 4. But totally there are how many number of apples? 15. So 15C4. So this is what the answer for selection of all the 4 non-defective apples. So this is what the answer. Next one. So thus none is defective. Now coming to the next one is, what is the probability that at least one of the selected apples is defective? Now again, as I said, at least means what? Greater than or equal to. Always remember that. So now we wanted probability of at least one is defective. At least one is defective. What do you mean by at least one is defective? That means probability of either 1 or 2 are defective. Correct? At least one is defective means either 1 or 2, because there are only 2 defective items. So we will get either 1 or 2. So suppose if it is 1, suppose, then it is 13C, out of, now defective ones are how many? Either 1 or 2. So defectives are 2 now, right? Out of 2 you are going to select 1. So that is 2C1. Now totally you have to select 4, right? That 4 should be selected from non-defective, that is 13C3, correct? Totally you have to select 4. Out of them you are going to say that 1 defective. That 1 defective can be selected from 2 defectives, which can be done in 2C1 ways. And now the 2 are defective. 2 are defective means, now when 1 is defective, the 3 apples are non-defective. These 3 apples, so I will write that in a clear way, that probability of 1 defective and 3 non-defective, or 2, because it is greater than or equal to 2 defective and 2 non-defective. Are you able to understand? Now there are 3 defective, like that is it possible? No, because there are only, how many defective pieces are there? There are only 2 defective pieces are there. So we can say that it is 1 defective, 3 non-defective, or 2 defectives and 2 non-defectives. This should happen. So 2C1 times of 13C3 or plus, now 2 defectives means 2 out of 2 multiplied by the remaining 2 from non-defective, that is 13C2 ways, over totally you have to select out of 15 4 apples, that is 14C4. Now this value is 0.4762 is the answer for this. So with this we have done with the second part also of this question. Next, the next question is, among 60 automobile parts loaded on a truck, 45 are Ibra, 15 for Sur. So now what it is? Totally how many parts are there? Total parts is 60. Total is 60. And for to Ibra, there are 45 has to go. And to Sur, there is 15 parts should go. So now the question is, if two parts are unloaded in Funza by mistake and the selection is random. So that means you are selecting 2 out of how many? 60. That is your denominator. Correct? Selection of 2. Selection of 2 out of 60. Always remember this formula. Selection of 2 out of 60. This is your denominator, 60C2. Now, coming to the, what are the probabilities of both the parts should have gone to Ibra? So that means what? The probability of all the 2 to Ibra. Now you are going to select totally how many? 2. Correct? So 2 Ibra. So that means what? This parts is given by Ibra. How many are going? 45 actually. Out of 45, you have to select 2. So both the 2, this one. So now this over total number of ways is 60C2. So that means it is 0.5593 is the answer for this. And now coming to the second part. One should have gone to Sur and one to the other as Ibra. So that means 1 to Sur. 1 to Sur means there is one more one because you are going to select 2, correct? So 1 is to Sur, have gone to Sur and the other gone to Ibra. So that means 1 to Sur and 1 to Ibra. So that is what the understanding. So 1 to Sur and 1 to Ibra means out of 45 you are selecting 1 and out of 15 you are selecting 1 over 60C2. So that gives you the value as 0.3814. This is what the answer. Okay, so with this we have done for the probability lecture, where we have done all the maximum type number of problems in probability. In the next class, 2 more problems I am going to do. With that I will complete this probability and I will start the conditional probability. I hope you could understand this particular problems. Try to understand where we are using union. Where there is R, there is union, and where there is union, we are adding. So where to use an addition, where to use multiplication is very, very, very important. And when the events, whatever the events you are taking, when the events are independent or not, you have to check. If they are independent, then probability of R intersection, A intersection B is empty set, like that it is. So with this today's lecture I will wind up. Thank you, my dear students. If you have any doubts, please put in the comments. I can clarify your doubts. Thank you so much.